Hey, what's up? First off, gameplay got some surprisingly impactful changes that will alter city flow. Bicycle trips have been reduced massively, about an 80% cut, which means traffic patterns and transport planning will shift in ways a lot of players will notice immediately. Deaths were another area of pain they addressed. There was a bug where the time of day wasn't being respected when determining when citizens would die, and that resulted in a huge pileup of deaths occurring between midnight and 6 in the morning. The team has not only fixed that timing logic, but also increased how often the game checks for deaths. It now calculates death checks for each citizen 16 times per day instead of 4, which spreads events out and prevents long lines of funerary mayhem clustering at a single hour. Easy mode received an adjustment too, so citizens can actually pass away of old age now. Previously, around 80% of citizens would never age out, which created weird long-term simulation problems. These are the kinds of fixes that reduce simulation oddities and make long-term saves feel more natural. The UI got a significant facelift aimed at clarity. The main HUD has been redesigned with more emphasis on demand bars, and a whole batch of icons were replaced or reworked. Roundabouts, cul-de-sacs, various road surface icons, pollution types, building level, land value, household wealth, company profitability, and even the citizen happiness emojis got new visuals. What's refreshing is that some bridge and port road icons were realigned to better match the base game's road iconography, so things should feel less visually jarring when using those assets. The onboarding tutorial also received attention, and there's a new toggle for tree age preservation that lets you place and keep a specific tree visual rather than having it automatically age away. Those UI tweaks are small on paper, but huge when you're scanning for info in a live city. Terraforming and placement received love as well. Elevation tool defaults are now less aggressive and more precise, and there are mode-specific brush presets with adjusted values so operations are less likely to wreck surrounding terrain. There's also a small fix for a typo in the Urban Cycling Initiative policy, which is the kind of polish that quietly improves immersion. Line tool spacing and tree collider adjustments let you place line objects like trees tighter and with fewer placement frustrations, and that will appeal to players who build scenic boulevards and precise park layouts. On the visual front, a bunch of rendering problems were tackled. Shadow flicker on high-quality settings has been improved, global illumination post-processing is disabled by default to reduce performance overhead for many players, and there's now manual hex code color control for asset color schemes, so you can match things exactly if you're into custom palettes. Snow got a mixed bag of changes. Decal-based lot surfaces now support snow, but vehicle snow rendering was temporarily removed, while fog is now tied to weather/cloudiness, so stormy conditions bring denser fog and clear weather gives less. Night lighting was brightened to help usability, the night sky texture got updated, and water on tropical maps was improved. Additionally, there's an option to limit the sun's maximum height per map, which can affect how dramatic your skies look across different biomes. There are also some welcome quality of life and technical defaults updated. The game will optimize default graphics quality on first run. Autosaves are enabled by default now. Camera limits were introduced, along with an option to switch back to the legacy camera. And there's a legacy UI toggle for anyone who preferred the older interface. Those toggles are smart, especially for players who have large builds or rely on particular workflows that were disrupted by previous UI or camera behavior. No update is perfect, and the notes call out a known issue where trees propped on newly placed or zoned buildings may show up as saplings and not age properly. Annoying if you like matching foliage ages across neighborhoods, but it's listed so you can anticipate it. Overall, this patch focuses a lot on smoothing out the simulation edge cases, cleaning up confusing visuals, and giving players more precise tools for placement and color. For builders and sim players, the death calculation and bike trip changes alone will affect municipal planning and traffic balance, while the UI and visual adjustments should make long sessions more pleasant to manage. I won't keep you with follow-up options or extra prompts. The notes are long and the change list is dense, but in a good way. It's the sort of update that quietly improves the day-to-day experience across many saves. If you're loading back into a long-term city after this patch, expect traffic flows to react differently. Watch how funerals and aging play out in your population, and pay attention to the new HUD icons. They might seem subtle at first, but they'll start saving you clicks and guesswork after an hour of play.